Well, hello everyone, and welcome to Hogarth's Global Astrology. Know your planets, know yourself, or know your nation, know yourself. The two are interchangeable. Thanks so much for joining us here on this very special day. This is a 90-minute special, and my goodness, we've got a show lined up for you folks. Pages here to get through. We're going to be doing one card pulls. We're going to try and do 3 Shakespeare's. I'm going to be sharing a little bit of video clip as well, some little clips that I've got ready on YouTube just to give a little bit of insight, particularly in regards to MAGA tears. I have the ladies here, so of course, well, I need to point this way, but Lady G, it looks different on my camera. Lady G is here. Oh, I see. Sheila is down here because on my camera it looks the other way. And of course, we have Lena here down under. From what I understand, the ladies were just giving me an update. Apparently, there is breaking news. Remember, today is the day of the solar eclipse.
Yes.
Remember, Saturn has moved into sidereal Pisces today. It is reality check time. And apparently, do you remember I said it will affect leaders? So we've had Signal Gate. It has also emerged apparently that Mike Johnson has been on Grindr picking up men. And I'm being told in the chat, is this true? Dare we believe that Elon Musk is to be stepping down from DOGE? Is this correct? Ladies, please discuss.
Oh, you tell us, Sophie.
Oh yeah, well, in May. I just looked it up, and it's like in May, he's gonna step down. He probably go sooner because he's a little brat. I looked up in Google to see if it was true about Johnson on Grindr. It is just people who are announcing or seeing him on there. It hasn't been like officially out there, so there's
it's still in the rumor category.
Well, however, when the Republican has a conference,
Grindr always melts down.
It does.
Apparently, it crashed because there were so many closet queens in the GOP. They crashed the app with every conference.
Oh God!
Oh,
because they're obsessed. You know, the evangelicals and stuff. They're obsessed with sex. They were obsessed with everyone else's bedroom. They are so repressed. It's hilarious. I love it.
And it's kind of almost a classic case, isn't it? Of the lady does protest too much. Every minute they're like, oh, this transgender this, and then you find out, oh. And you know what also emerged on that chat on Signal Gate? Mike Waltz apparently is very fond of a certain site, shall we say.
So this is different from Mike Johnson. This is Mike
this is different from Mike Johnson. So this came out a few days ago. where he is fond, shall we say, men of color of a certain persuasion. So so you see, like, because just to put into context, so today is a very special day, everyone, because Saturn transited into sidereal Pisces around about the middle of the show, around about question 4. I'm going to take a question and make a little chart presentation just to show everyone where we are. This is exceedingly rare. Just to put into context, though, Saturn is now officially with Rahu, the north node of the moon, and the last time they were together in sidereal Pisces was 1968. Now, that was a tumultuous time for the United States because it was the Vietnam War. Yes, and we did also as well have we had the assassination, sadly, of Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. and Bobby Kennedy. So this is why I was saying as well, we must be ready for what? Abdications. Hopefully it's not assassinations, but I said people could be leaving their post. And I said it's more likely to be, Elon Musk or the like, because let's not forget, Uranus is on the star Algol, the star of betrayal. It becomes exact around about April 14th, around about tax collection time. And Musk is announcing that apparently he's walking the plank because he's such a toxic brand with his swastikas and all of that BS.
Yes.
Oh, right.
Well, he's on the news, Fox News complaining. Did you see Tim Walz? He's had the Tesla stock behind him, and how horrible, how evil is that for him to do that? We're like, really? Is it?
Yeah. Trying to make it illegal not to buy Tesla cars. I mean, what kind of deranged levels of megalomania is this? You must buy my cars. You must buy my Teslas, even though they crash and explode.
They're terrible
and they're
vehicles.
rubbish. They're terrible. I don't know if you've seen.
In the comments, Brenda says, when will we find out about JD and Peter Thiel?
Oh, wouldn't that be
a
juicy little?
There's questions in here. We do have a Peter Thiel question in here, so we've got some stuff. Let me just do some quick thank yous already. Everyone is piling into the chat. We're gonna go at our usual pace, folks, but it's a 90-minute show, so we do have a bit of time to go into depth into things. I want to try and do 3 Shakespeares tonight. Some thank yous already. Liz, thank you so much for becoming a new member. Here, let's click. Here, Kathleen. Oh my goodness, $100. Wow. Thank you so much. So thank you all for spending your Saturday and building a global community, discussing oligarchs, gaslighting everyone. Yes, this is the last show on Saturday. And then we're going to move on to Wednesday, which I think is April 2nd, folks. You know, because Lena and I, you know, we sort of, you know, it's been a long time. You know, so, you know, we need a little bit of a rest. Mama Piplup is here. Thank you so much. Help me stay calm these last few weeks. Thank you. And we've got Kathy Blake as well. Thank you so much for your kind donation. Thank you for all the work you do to heal the world. And Josie Wales, thank you as well. So let's dive in. Let's just get stuck in. Are we ready, ladies, for question number 1?
Yeah.
Now, this is someone who has quite literally, fallen off the radar. We've got a question about Assad.
Oh.
Remember him? Yeah, it's just like, and I just thought, let's have this as a question to get us warmed up. Yeah, we'll get us warmed up. Let's do a one card pull. Yeah, he's not worth more than that.
No, he's not worth more.
I've not heard anything about him, so I just thought that's intriguing. So this is coming from Trina, and she said, since Assad and his family fled from Syria,
who was the leader of Syria until the entire country was destroyed.
Exactly.
And then he shot through wherever he went.
Exactly, and he escaped. So since Assad and his family fled from Syria and went to Russia, nothing has been heard of them since December. Could you do a one card pull to see if they're okay? Not that we care, but let's just take a look. This is our warm up. Yeah, Assad. One card pull. What's happened to Assad? Let's see. All right. Are we ready? All right.
Yeah.
After 3. 1, 2, 3. Ooh.
Oh.
Interesting.
Oh, the cards speak. Well, it's quite straightforward, isn't it? He's escaping justice, like legal justice, moral justice, every sort of justice. So he's probably having surgery as we speak. They might get a family discount, you know.
Oh, what? Facial? Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you mean
I'm just making that up. I'm just saying. But this is what he's avoiding.
Sheila, how do you interpret your card?
Well, he in his own little, you know, kind of way, he's very grateful for being left alone. He has high hopes for his future and emotions and stuff. So if I'm or on him, he has that. You know, we don't feel that way, but he definitely feels like he's like his cup runneth over and he's locked in.
Okay.
Yeah, he's like, "Ooh," isn't he? Wow. Lady G, how do you interpret your card?
Well, I don't know. Something's afoot.
Uh-huh.
So I don't know if he is into something darker or if maybe Putin is kind of looking at him askew.
Interesting.
Ooh, interesting. And I've got an interesting card here. I've got the Queen of Wands. And this card, as you know, I associate wands with entrepreneurship. But this Queen of Wands has a lot to do with collaboration, bringing people together and stuff like that. I have a feeling this might be talking about the wife. Is she going to maybe be starting a quiet business or something like that? Is she got maybe business dealings abroad or maybe making some moves of her own? So I have a feeling this might be the wife. Apparently she wanted to divorce him, but this was before the whole kind of coup thing broke out, so she obviously had to run along with. So I don't know, this to me, I think he's broadly enjoying himself. If this is talking about his energy, he's probably having quiet meetings, but I think he's very relieved. But there might be something something funny going on with Lady G's devil card. So you know, who knows who they're having over, who they're having round. Yeah,
You know what? I
just
picked
saying.
again and I got the devil again. The burden. Yeah, something is. Yeah, he's got something heavy on him now.
Oh, sorry, Kathleen. I've got to jump in. RFK Jr. resigned today on TikTok.
Sure. Yeah.
Can we have that confirmed?
What is it? I can't hear it.
RFK Jr. Can you hear me?
What?
Resigned today.
Yes.
As of March 29th, Robert F. Kennedy Jr. continues to. Oh, well, it doesn't say.
We need it confirmed.
Yeah.
Oh, somebody resigned from his nonprofit to take the job.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, prior to his.
That's disappointing.
Yeah. I don't think so. I don't think he did.
Yeah. Okay. Moving on.
Yeah. Someone said here. Look, someone's written up here. He did not resign.
No. Okay. We corrected that. Thank you.
Maybe some people got excited in the chat because I'm talking about leadership's heads rolling, but maybe that was a bit excitement there. Right. Okay. So that was a good opening for the show. So that's Assad. So the next question here, we need to talk about Alina Haba. Yeah, we've not spoken about her for a little while. And I think this is going to be our first Shakespeare pull of the night. Who went last? It was Sheila last time. So I think Lady G, I think it's you. I think it's you this time. So Nick Minks has asked, Alina Haba, I think she said Habab, but anyway, Alina Haba, the most successful legal loser of all time, is being installed as interim AG for New Jersey. I'm just like, what? How is that going to go? And is this her being shoved sideways? Well, I'm not sure if that's sideways. That's kind of like a shove up, if anything.
But that always happens.
So Attorney General, AG.
Yeah, but in universities, any business sector, you've got someone you can't get rid of. You promote them to get them out of your space. And then they inflict themselves on a wider playing field.
Madness,
I don't think New Jersey will tolerate her for long, I hope.
No.
Indeed. So let's do a full card pull on her because we've got a succession of one card pulls coming up. So Alina Haba, gosh. These lick-spittle douchebags, it's just unbelievable. Good news though about Elon stepping down. Obviously, he's just far too unpopular. And remember I said we're now in this phase where they really could face assassination attempts. I'm not saying I'm wishing it on them, but because Uranus is on the star Algol, and I said, look, Elon especially is going to struggle to stay around because he is the one who's inflicting the most pain. It's Trump, but you know, there's always the fall guy. Remember I said Trump always has his fall guy. All right.
Yeah.
Alina Haba. See what's going on with this douchebag.
Well, I can kick off here.
Go for it, Lena.
Well, like you say, she's been out of the limelight for a while and now just back this week. She's being paid off effectively with this position, you know, because he's now got Pam Bondi, you know, from Baywatch in the big job. Okay. She's confused. New Jersey's confused. Everyone is going, what? They're waking up and going, no, what hell is this? We might be moving on sooner rather than later, I think. You know, with this whoosh, 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 there'll be a flurry of things, and she's not up to it. She is simply not up to it. She hasn't got the legal credentials to handle it.
She should be on QVC. Whenever I see her, I think she should be on QVC selling cheap jewelry, but, you know. Sheila, what do you have?
Well, mine are interesting. What I did with the question is I put my top cards are her and what she thinks is going to happen. My bottom cards of what is why doing it, why he's did it. So I got the top one, she got the heartbreak because she's just really emotional. So she is the little woman who is too hysterical in his life right now. So she's like heartbreak. So what are you going to do with me? Why don't you do this? You know, all of that. So she thinks that she's the queen of wands, and she just does everything and all that. But what he did was, I just need to get rid of her. There's bats. He has highlighting bats and behind the moon, and he's just like trying to get rid of like these little minions that are around me. I'm done with them. She thinks the Queen of Cups, like, I have deserved this. I deserve this. But truthfully, he's throwing her to the fire. He's throwing her in the toilet. And she thinks Ace of Cups, like, oh, I'm clear, I'm good to go with all of my lawyer stuff, but he's just doing an exorcism. That's what he's doing. He's just exorcising.
May the Spirit of Christ
the Spirit of Christ compel you.
Oh no. She'll be like Regan in The Exorcist, you know, her head will be spinning.
Yeah. Oh my goodness. Do you see what the eclipses are bringing? It's just astonishing. It's like musical chairs. Lady G, what do you have on Alina Haba?
Well, I have to agree with Sheila on this one because I get first thing is something new. He's sending her away, away, far away, distancing. So the energy coming into it for the long term, it's going to be painful for her. She's boo-hooing, you know, because at the center of it, you know, this is his proclamation, and it's, of course, for her, it's going to be emotional because the challenge is her toxicity, and what she was birthing out there was just totally toxic. And so the potential outcome is an obstruction because didn't like the harvest, what she's bringing in. And then the extra information was at the heart of it. It was a victory, got rid of her, go far, far away.
Yeah.
Wow. And I've just got here something that we're gonna let me just see here. This 8, I'm going to put here end show on this, on something really quite a fascinating question. All right, the cards I've got for her cards are very interesting. I pulled 5 cards, and she gets 3 major arcana Arcana 3. So, you know, it's obviously this is quite a big move, but you'll see. Now, this is really interesting. This is really interesting because I think this is talking about a bit about her internal world. Yeah. For her, daddy, has sent her on the way. Yeah. Because this is the card that we normally associate with Joe Biden. Yeah. And normally associate with democracy. But we're talking about Duck Larange here. So we know this isn't his concrete manifestation. I think this is more about her feelings about him, almost like this father-like figure. And the screens have gone blank. Can you hear me? Oh,
I can hear you, but you've frozen.
Can you hear me?
Okay, you're back.
Did you see that? There was a freeze. It's because I'm talking about Duck Larange. That's why. That's why. Anyway, I think she sees him as this daddy kind of like figure. Trouble is, daddy feels differently. Yeah. Death card is there, which of course is about what? Transformation. Yeah. Transformation. I wonder if I might have to close down. Can you see me? Yeah.
Yeah. We can see you and hear you.
How are we doing with the speed? It seems to be a little bit slow.
Okay, why don't you give us a question,
you know, I'm
and then go and do
this.
Give us a question, Hogarth, and then go and fiddle.
Then you can go out.
Yeah, it should be all right now. I closed down some stuff.
Okay. All right.
Yeah. I mean, what I'll do is I'll finish off. So, death card, transformation coming. Yeah, that she doesn't want. He's paying her off.
Yeah,
literally, you can see it's like a payoff. Yeah, it's like a payoff. Yeah, got that as well. She does get the Empress, so of course that can talk about a fertile new beginning. You know, basically, I think he's just pushed her off the cliff. He's like, see you later. Yeah. I think you're a bit too incompetent, although I can't publicly say it. You know, mind how you go, take the money, and see you later. I think it's kind of like a payoff.
Yeah.
Yeah. Is everything back okay now? Is it back up to speed?
Yeah.
All right. I think I had too many things open. Right. Let's go to the next question. So that was, let's get Shakespeare on Alina Haba. Let's get Shakespeare.
Oh, yeah.
So, Lady G, I think it's your turn to read. Yes. And let's see what the Bard thinks of Alina Haba.
And stop.
Sorry. Oh, okay. Oh, this is fascinating. Listen to this. We've not had this one before. So this has come from Timon of Athens. This is what the Bard has to say about Haba. Most smiling, smooth, detested parasites, courteous destroyers, affable wolves, meek bears.
Oh, wow.
Isn't that interesting?
Isn't it?
Oh, I think he's got her number on that one. Most smiling, smooth, detested parasites. Because she does, you know, did you see her? Yeah. She always does the big. And did you see when she was, what's his name? That guy who did this, who does the women trafficking thing. What's his name? That horrible.
Andrew Tate.
You know, right. And did you see her fangirling over Andrew Tate?
Yeah.
Yeah. Courteous destroyers, affable wolves, meek bears. So saying that she's a predator with this smile, but really she's awful. Gosh,
totally.
God. Never fails. All right. So that's. Are we ready for the next question?
Yes.
Lovely. And there's there's 3,390 of you here so far. So big love, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us. And please, of course, don't forget to like and subscribe to support the channel. Let me just quickly say some more thank yous. So here, thank you to Josie Wales. Much appreciated. Joanne D, thank you. Much appreciated. Kathleen, thank you. It's saying RFK resigned today, TikTok, but I think we've kind of, he's not resigned, isn't it? Isn't that the case? He's not resigned.
It's someone in the administration. Oh, Dr. Liz, thank you.
Dr. Liz, thank you. Stay at home, Hogarth, and protect yourself so Mike does not try to come for your finance. I'll do my best, you never know. Oh my God, Karen.
Oh, awesome.
Thank you. Last Saturday, happy great awakening, lifted, and all transit to a better world together. See you on Wednesdays now. Mwah. Thank you. Much appreciated. California. Much appreciated. And who else do we have here? Carmen, thank you so much. We'll miss coming from the clinic and watching you all. We'll have to clear my schedule for Wednesday show.
You'll have to rearrange your schedule.
Indeed. And thank you, Delria Jones. Much appreciated. Right. 3 questions. 3 separate people have asked different questions about Greenland. So what I thought I would do is we'll just do 1 card pulls each on each of the questions.
Yeah. And see how it goes.
So ZZ asked us, hi all, will Trump invade Greenland? Yeah, good question. And how will the world respond? 1 card pulls, they request. 3rd one on Greenland says, does Peter Thiel want Greenland for his own personal country? Thanks, everyone. I look forward to seeing all of you every week. And then Manuela Orchid says, thank you, Yogi, and all of you for Thursday, Friday. She's saying, my general question would be, how will it all develop with Greenland? And the second question would be, how will the visit from Trump with Prince Charles, how will that go? She says, thank you all, have a lovely weekend. So let's start with, which one do you want to start with? Peter Thiel or Trump state visit / Greenland? Or maybe we leave the last one, will Trump invade? Maybe we do a 1 card pull on that on the last one. Let's do Peter Thiel, then Trump, Charles, and then let's see if there will be invasion in Greenland. Yeah, let's do it that way.
Yeah.
Just work it out.
So what's the first one?
So first one, does Peter Thiel want Greenland for his own personal country? And that's coming from Black Cat. 1 card pull. And thank you to everyone joining us. This is a record. We are at 3,578 and counting. Much appreciated. 5 years today. Well, soon. In half an hour, my channel will be exactly 5 years old.
That's amazing.
I should have got a cake. All right. After 3. 1, 2, 3. Ooh.
Oh, here we go.
So Lena, how do you interpret your card?
Yes, Peter Thiel thinks he's got the key to, I presume, unlock more wealth in this scenario, you know.
Gosh, these people, they're megalomaniacs.
Absolutely.
Sheila.
Nutcases.
You know, I wouldn't have thought of him being connected to that, but now that I got the Queen of Pentacles, I got that business, like that financial responsibility, that security. I think he is involved. I think he is trying to be that person who grounds. He's going to own that ground.
Wow. Yeah, because Pentacles deal with Earth, and the Queen of Pentacles is about security, stability.
And resources, like resources in the Earth too.
Yeah, I would not have thought of that, but yeah, I guess so. Wow.
Me neither. Wow. Lady G, how do you interpret your card?
Well, he's been investigating it and looking like he's kind of behind the scenes, you know, digging deeper.
Yeah.
Wow. Sometimes these one card pulls, and look, it's very obvious.
Yeah.
He's got world global ambitions.
Yes.
This is so much of his global ambition, because you got Peter Thiel, and who's the other, the nutbag of the nutbags, the one that's come up with these concepts. What's he called again?
Curtis Yarvin.
Curtis Yarvin, yeah. But so you can see here, Peter Thiel is behind some of the biggest companies in the world. But yeah, I think, I agree with the ladies. I think it all fits in perfectly. He has got global ambitions, and yeah, the answer is yes. Wow. Oh, wasn't expecting that. Yeah, wasn't expecting that.
No, me.
All right. It's just awful, isn't it? These people are just dreadful. All right, let's go to the second of part 3. So my general question would be what develops in Greenland, but I think we'll cover that in the next 2. Well, part we've done already. Let's take a look at this visit for Trump with Charles. Let's take a look. How's that?
You're talking about King Charles?
King Charles, yeah.
Did he already visit?
No, not yet.
No, that was a few years ago, but this one hasn't happened.
Yeah, and he's going to be going to Balmoral. He's going to be going to Scotland this year. So let's just see. Let's do a 1-card pull. How will it go? Will it be successful, or will it be? I mean, by the time the state visit does come, he will literally be a fascist dictator by that point. So I don't know what that means.
Yeah, I don't know why they're inviting him. I don't understand.
Yeah. All right. After 3. 1, 2, 3.
Okay.
Oh,
all right.
Sorry, Lena, how do you interpret your card?
All right. With this Russian deck, I think, look, this man is on the edge of a precipice with nowhere to go. To me, that could be Trump given another 5 months or whatever. Imagine the state he'll be in. Or B, it could be Charles for being so absurd as to extend him an invitation, and Keir Starmer could be out on a limb because he's going to be massively unpopular. It is going to be very hard to protect him, and there's going to be a lot of protest. So they could be isolated and on a limb by doing it.
Yeah, risking it. Wow. Sheila, how do you interpret your card?
I don't think it's going to happen.
Yeah.
I don't
5
think
of Pentacles.
The 5 of Pentacles, and then with the Kravitz infestation. So the infestation of whatever's going on right now with Trump, the crazy this, that, and the other. It's a lack. It's like a no card. So I think
great. Love that.
Yep.
Yeah.
It shouldn't happen. It shouldn't.
Yeah. Lady G, how do you interpret your card?
Well, this is my card for Trump, but what I'm feeling is he may not even be around at that time.
Well, here we go. Yeah.
Because these cards, they're not favorable. I've got the king. I've got the King of Swords, and we have to interpret the shadow interpretation of this card. And the King of Swords, the shadow of this card is very cruel. It can talk about a cruel, heartless man. And I just have a feeling, because the tide is really turning on Duck L'Orange, even with his base. And I think by this time, imagine, like, this is 2 months in, guys. Imagine by next summer, 2026.
No.
If assuming he is alive, but I think people will just see him as a cruel, vicious, heartless man, and that we shouldn't be having him on our shores. They say a week is a long time in politics. A year is a lifetime. Look what's happened in the last few days. So I think, I agree with the ladies. It's looking It's looking
very
dicey.
dodgy.
Looking very, very dicey. Interesting, isn't it? The one card
Yes.
pulls what that pulls up. All right, now let's look at, this is section 3 of question 3. And this is coming from Zizi. Hi all. Simple question. Will Trump invade Greenland and how will the world respond? So will they do it? Also, JD Vance was there wheeling around Usha, his wife.
Yes, but no one would meet them. They had to stay in the American zone.
Yeah, they had
No one in Greenland would meet them.
They went door to door.
No one. Sorry,
Yeah,
Sheila.
Yeah, they had people on the ground going door to door, knocking on people's doors, asking if they would be willing to come, asking what they think about it, and every single one of them said, "No, go away."
100%.
Yeah.
Yeah, 100% exactly. So that wasn't welcome. But there's 2 parts to that question. Are we going to do it? The one is he going to annex it or is he going to take it? And the other one is how are we
How the world reacts.
So
yeah, let's see. Let's do the first bit. Like, are they gonna try and take it? You know, they're certainly investing a lot of time in there. So we'll do a 1 card pull and then we'll see how the world responds. I mean, it would just be beyond, I can't even find words. It would just be Trumpocalypse, like I said, Trumpocalypse.
Here,
1 card
keep
pull.
on saying we're going to take it no matter what. We would like for it to be peacefully, but that's what he's trying to say.
Yeah, but they keep using that language.
Yeah.
Oh, well, you know, there's no discussion.
Yep.
Indeed. All right. After 3. 1, 2, 3. Oh God, look at this.
Oh,
Lena, what card have you got? God. Is that the Russian deck?
it's the Russian deck. It's a very dark deck, you know, so.
Yeah, cover the bum deck.
Cover the bum. Whoops. But you can see the imagery there. They'll be held up trying to do, if they try and do it, they will be held up in some way, and the sacrifice factor is involved. And without a bigger spread, I won't say more than that, but this is not straightforward.
Wow.
No.
Wow. Sheila, how do you interpret your card?
I'm still on Lena's card where he's the husband's
The butt cheeks.
Something
Literally
made
out.
me bring these out today. They're good for the 1-carders, aren't they?
They really are.
Mine right here, you know, at first I thought, oh, he's going to get handed the keys to the kingdom. But interpretation, because this is my haunted deck, they're hiding the key. They're going to take it and they're going to hide the key. So whatever they're doing, they're trying to keep him from to doing, and they're hiding something for him. There's something that he wants the most. Has anybody figured that out? What does he want the most? Because he's never going to say it out loud.
I think it's
You
the
mean
minerals.
You mean Trump?
Yeah. What does he want the most from Greenland? Is it? That's what they're hiding. That's what they're holding here. Something.
I think it's the minerals. I think it's the minerals. I think that's what he wants, because when we think of the previous cards on Greenland, do you remember that Queen of Pentacles talking about the resources? So I think it's the minerals. Lady G, how do you interpret your card?
Well, he's going to be under a restriction. So something is coming up that he's not going to be able to go. Mentally, they're going to restrict him in some way, shape, or form that says, no. Maybe something like, I don't know, NATO or something like that is going to put this restriction.
And we've really have hit a milestone. We've just gone over 4,000 people watching us live. Thank you so much, guys. That really is a record. Much appreciated. Well, look, yes, there are the restrictions, but he's gonna give it a big old go. Yeah. He's really gonna try. Duck L'Orange, you've heard me say before, never underestimate Duck L'Orange. There is no bottom to his pit. Yeah,
No.
it just isn't. It just keeps going and going and going. Like I said,
And he
will
doesn't
grift.
take advice.
No.
No, he will grift from the grave. I'm sure he's even got automated things set up when he dies. You know, this coffin was sponsored by McDonald's and goodness knows who. But this is him. So it's like he's rabid. He wants to be all powerful. Like I said, I think Trump is a neo-imperialist. He wants to be emperor. He wants to be master of the world. But the trouble is, the rest of the world has its own views of how they think the world should be. And they're just going to look at him. At some point, they may even just start looking at him as this kind of crazy wizard. But think about it. If he were to invade Greenland, that would effectively be an attack on Denmark, which is part of Europe.
Yeah,
and Greenland is part of NATO. It's the fact that they're still going for this is just lunacy.
Particularly as the US, as we speak, doesn't have the other allies it had a month ago. You know.
Exactly. We should ask the other part of the question, which is, how would the world respond should the worst happen? Yeah, so let's do a one card pull on that. Oh, all these one card pulls, fabulous. How would the world respond? Oh, what times we are in. The fact we would have thought we would be reading questions on this. If America will invade Greenland, Denmark. All right. After 3. Yeah. Are we ready? 1, 2, 3. Oh my God. Right. Ooh. Okay, Lena. Your cards.
It would not be pretty. And that's all I'll say. It would not be pretty.
Sheila, how do you interpret your card?
I'm trying to.
It's the Ukrainian symbol.
It's Ukrainian. It looks Ukrainian to me, the sunflower.
Well, as I pick this up, all I can do is tell you what I literally thought when it came up was that the French Parliament or whatever, I listened to him speak about Trump and all of that and all of his problems and stuff. And the first thing that I got was that they are going to, like, they know that they're smarter than him. They know how to get around him. They're almost like bring it on, right?
Yeah.
Kind of how they're like
prepping. They're prepping.
Yeah, they're prepping. So they're very confident on how to fight it. For some reason. So
wow. Lady G, how do you interpret your card?
Well, they would be charging forward with some heavy truth. I think that they would know ahead of time. They would have intel, and definitely they'd be ready for him.
Yeah, and absolutely they would have intel because they'll plan it all maybe on WhatsApp this time, or maybe Instagram chat.
Just put it up on billboards, with lights and flashing everything.
Yeah,
Jesus.
It's just ridiculous, isn't it? So this is kind of like, this is Europe. In many ways, you could say this is Europe, but this is also Denmark. This is also Greenland. They are watching the coastline.
Watching out for this.
They are watching and they are waiting. Everyone is just keeping an eagle eye. And I was thinking about this the other day. And it's funny because I feel Ukraine, showed up there with the sunflower. That had to, of course, be Ukraine. And I was reflecting. And if we think of how depleted Russia is, they're still dangerous, but they're very depleted. And I was just think about it. Imagine if UK and France, with our military expertise, some of the best armies in the world, Putin knows if Britain and France were just to attack like the Kremlin, it would be over. They are exhausted. They are exhausted. But in terms of Russia, but Europe has a lot of resources. So I think they are just watching. I think they are planning for anything. I think after the Zelensky thing, they're like, he's capable of anything. So they're planning. I think they're going to be prepared. Wow.
Which country was already assembling their army? Which one was it? I can't think of it.
I think it's France has already made preparations.
There was another country. There was another country that has an army just as big as the United States. Which one is it? Somebody, anyone? Bueller?
I don't know about that. You're not thinking of China or somewhere.
No, not China. There's another.
The thing with Europe is
Germany is finally able to assemble a military, which they've never been able to do. So they're starting to
for the first time.
Yep,
and they'll be very efficient.
Very efficient. Poland, that's who it is. Poland has a military almost matching ours. I've extensively looked into this, but yeah, so they are also. We just got word that they're also assembling and training and getting prepared as well. So it's like, everybody else is not MAGA. The rest of the world is not going to spin it to make him look good. They understand what's going on. MAGA are the only people in the sand going, "Oh, this all looks great."
And they remember war. They remember being invaded. Yes. It has not left the memory.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's in close memory. All right, so I'm going to say a few more thank yous. And then we're going to actually, because the next question, and I thought, this is very pertinent. You'll see what I mean in a minute. So, so Scott A, I want to say thank you so much for. Let me put my power saving on. Sorry, I'm just plugging in my laptop here. I've just got the little notification. There we are. So Scott A, thank you so much. Acadian, thank you so much for your donation. Says, when things get rough and want to stop, set a timer for 5 minutes, feel what you need to feel, then reset timer for 5 minutes and do something, anything, reset timer and repeat. Hopefully by then you will feel better. So giving some good advice for anxiety. Thank you so much. Robin, hi loves, Lena sent your audition tape.
Thank you so much. I love those women. Thank you.
Yes. I hip. Yeah. God, they're spicy. Right. Thank you so much.
I've had it. It's a great podcast.
Very, very good. Very good. I watch them a lot. Thank you, Judy, so much for your donation. Thank you, Leslie, so much for your donation. Thank you, Catherine, for your donation. And thank you, Judy Moon, so much for your donation. Much appreciated. All right, let's go then to question number 4. It's a little bit of a darker tone, but it made sense after all of these Greenland questions. Yeah, so where was I? And then we've got to do a Shakespeare on Paula White Kane. You know, the one who is doing the evangelical selling for $1,000. You can have 7 angels. Have you heard of this, Lena?
Oh, stop. No.
Yeah, that's coming. Hold on, folks. That is coming. So C. Grendy has asked this question, which is a very pertinent question. We don't normally do personal questions, but in the context of Greenland, it makes sense. She said, today is also my son's birthday. So happy birthday to your son. So the question is, will my son be at risk of conscription during this regime? Should he move elsewhere? So in light of what we've been talking about with Greenland, I think in a way this is asking a wider question, isn't it, about conscription in terms of where things are going, which I think is worth.
This is more cards for this question.
I think let's do more cards for this question because it will broaden it out to give us a chance to see what's going on with the energy of America as a whole.
I have a question, and I'm just going to be the person who doesn't. What is inscription? What are you talking about?
Conscription, like being conscripted to the army.
What? Like
Vietnam. Your number
drafted,
came up, and you go. Unless, of course, you've got bone spurs.
Yes, of course. I mean, most men would have just pushed through, but he's
Yeah. So basically, the
it
question.
would be different if he was a conscientious objector and had a principled stand and was prepared to defend that. No.
Indeed.
And in terms of what you were just talking about, Sheila, about Poland and Germany, in the comments they say there's a military term, the Weimar Triangle, which is an alliance of France, Poland, and Germany.
Yes.
Wow.
Interesting.
That's what's starting up. They're getting prepared.
Yes.
And everybody was kind of worried about Germany going the other way.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So thank goodness it went the right way. And then,
I mean, Europe has got no choice. I mean, JD Vance
and
the government have made it abundantly clear, and the signal chat. Sheila, this will be a full card pull on this one. You can pull more, because we get the wider flavor of America. Because
so will there be conscription in the US during this regime?
Oh gosh, right.
Yeah, it's an important question.
Oof.
Except they're actively, word has gone out to not recruit black and coloured soldiers.
Really?
Shocking.
What, so they,
absolutely
shocking. So they can't be put on the website?
The armed services.
I'm all for culling the herd of the white boy. Okay, I really am. Wow. Let's cull the herd, and if they want to go and put the white boys at the front of the line, fine. But
it's strange. How bizarre.
Yeah.
Well, mind you, they're kind of getting rid of all the black veterans, aren't they? And it's so mad. It's so bonkers. I hope no one obviously gets conscripted at all. But who's ready to go first?
I'm not yet.
My cards are about as bizarre. I don't know if we have an answer on this. I don't know if he's gonna get that far. I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm getting like a page of cups on this, a romantic, like he's romanticizing it. But I get a Queen of Wands, the vigilance, like the like there's a restraint against that, and then I get the Nine of Swords, where there's a worry behind that, and then I get the Ace of Wands. Like he gets, I don't know. I am as confused with my card as I ever have been, to be honest with you. If I had to say, if I had to say that it was going to happen, I would say no. However, he fantasizes about this, and I think the only fight that he has is in his head.
Wow.
So, anyways, I wanted to take back my culling of the white boy statement back. I was just trying to be like sarcastic. Of course, I don't want any of our sons, including my own, to be called to war. So I just want
to. Lady G, are you ready? What do you have?
Well, the direction is about protection, guarding, but the energy coming into it, he would have to really dig deep. He wants to be the emperor, but it would not be easy because now there is a bridge going when it comes to actions going forward, especially in view of, bringing people into the military. And I think this would have to do with Congress or something of that nature. This is because it's what's hidden, and what's hidden will be a message coming out, concrete message, with the potential outcome light on the White House, and extra information is cutting it and bringing it to a rest. So yeah, I agree. He may want to do it, but it looks like the Congress or House or the legislation would not go along with it.
Yeah, and my cards are saying something similar. He loves the idea.
Yeah.
But it would be foolish for him politically to do this. he likes being the big kahuna, you know, with this King of Pentacles presiding over the armed services that he then derides and starves of resources. But the outcome card was temperance. And I'm thinking, like Sheila was saying, modern parents of modern 19-year-olds are not going to wear this.
Yeah. Yeah. And it's also, isn't it interesting as well with the timing as well, because in terms of the great alignment, and I'm going to make a little presentation very soon, but the fact that this Saturn being with the North Node Rahu, and the last time they were together was 1968 with the Vietnam, you know what I mean, protests and all of this stuff and assassinations, and you know, it wouldn't bode very well. I just want to say we've got 4,392 of you with us right now. This is extraordinary. It's just absolutely extraordinary. I have to say some more thank yous to Baya. Thank you so much. Christina, thank you so much. Karen, thank you so much. And Claudia, great so much. And Claudia's saying, great as usual. Love y'all. Thank you. This is really interesting. So if we look here, 2 cards fell out when I was shuffling. First one that fell out, look, King of Pentacles. So that's Duck L'Orange, yeah? Duck L'Orange. Yeah, exactly. Duck L'Orange sitting there because, you know, obviously he's Mr. Billion Bitcoin now, isn't he, with his own scam coin that he did. But I think it's his ego, which was already inflated, is now gargantuan, yeah? But look who shows up in the obstacle position. The card for the establishment.
Yeah.
This normally comes out when we're talking about the GOP, doesn't it? The 10 of Pentacles. But it says to me there might actually be some resistance from the establishment, or there is some, at some point, even those people might be like, we can't go down this route. Do you know what I mean? War for who? For whose benefit? You know, who will benefit from this? But you know, but they could also go along with him. If we look here, we've got the 8 of Pentacles, and this actually is a card that can also talk about students, young people, but working towards something, building something. I think he certainly likes the idea. I think Trump definitely likes the idea. That's very much clear. But then look, we get the card of democracy that shows up again. Quite interesting. So, and this is also a card of compassion, being intuitive and being creative. And then look, then we get the Judgment card, like a big kind of like wake up call. So maybe that might just be something that just makes everyone rise up. Everyone just go, no. And I'm thinking, because we're back in that energy of 1968 again with bells on. I just feel like for everyone, because everyone knows that he's corrupt. It's not like someone like one of the charismatic Kennedys sent, you know, for war, etc. We already know he's bent, crooked, corrupt, signal gate, all of this stuff. Would it even be well planned? I just don't think there's appetite for it.
And it's very timely in the comments. Raymond says, a quote from Martin Luther King in his final book. And he said, white America would rather throw away democracy and embrace a native form of fascism to preserve their power.
Wow. Wow.
And he probably wrote that in about 1968.
Yeah. Yeah. Right. So
might have been a bit earlier.
Well,
yes,
it may. Say real quick though, on that note, in '68, if you remember, we got into the Vietnam War because they lied about a ship being fired on.
Yes.
So they lied to get us in there, and I was in there in '70. That's when I was in. So I graduated in '68. So I'm quite familiar with that era.
And so how does that? Well, you see. Lady G is full of incredible stories. She's so modest. We have to dig in a little bit more. So what was the atmosphere like at that time, Lady G? Did people believe the rhetoric? Was everyone gung-ho, or was there reservations?
No, you know, they were drafting the guys and they were trying to leave and go to Canada or whatever. And a lot of protests against the war. But, you know, you're drafted and you have to go.
Wow.
But yeah, a lot of protests at that time. Now, there were some, of course, that were gung-ho and believed that we were actually in a war.
Yeah.
Then later we find out it was all manufactured, that all these people died for no reason.
Yeah. And exactly, it happened again with the weapons of mass destruction.
Again.
It was the same lie.
Same line. Yeah, same lie. Gosh. Right. Okay. So this is the part where I'm going to try and do a mini presentation. I think I'm going to skip the video clips because even just having them running in the background was a bit sketch. I mean, I'll see, I know how I could potentially do it. I've just thought I could get the clip up on my phone and then present my phone to the screen, and then you guys could see it that way. But we're going to talk a little bit about astrology, the great alignment, which has happened today. Oh, and it's just past midnight UK time. So everyone, my channel is exactly 5 years old.
And happy eclipse and happy birthday.
Oh, can you believe it? Gosh, the way things work. So what I'm doing is I'm finding the clip, but I'm going to do a present screen. I'm going to, oh, someone just crashed outside of my flat. Wow, someone literally just had a crash outside of my flat. So I hope that's not too bad. Here we are. I'm getting the clip lined up. And basically the clip that I'm going to show you, I'm talking about the reality check that is coming to people. Saturn is the planet of reality. Pisces can deal with illusions and delusions. So of course, Saturn, reality, could end illusions and delusions. I want to say a quick thank you as well to Cindy. Thank you so much for asking. I think she asked the question. And thank you for donating. So I'm going to do present screen. Fingers crossed this is going to work. Oh, I'm taking a risk, folks. I'm taking a risk. Let's do entire screen. I don't know how it's going to look, ladies. We may disappear. Let's just see how it's going to work. Oh, look, we move over to the side. It's not so bad. That's not so bad.
There's a lot going on. Okay.
Yeah. All right. So let's see. Can you see me? Yes, you can see me. All right. So I'm going to show you, that's the inauguration chart, but I'm going to show you what's happening today. So the Great Awakening. So do you see, folks, ladies and people at home, can you see this big alignment?
No, it's way too small.
Is it too small? Oh.
I don't know about other people might see.
Well, ladies, can you see the screen?
Yeah.
Yeah? Okay. Can you see my arrow moving, the red arrow?
You can see the cluster up there.
Oh, okay, right. Well, this cluster here, this is the cluster of the planets that I was talking about. So this is Rahu, north node of the moon, Venus retrograde, Mercury retrograde, Neptune, Sun, Moon together with Rahu causing an eclipse, Saturn and Chiron. Yeah, I just wanted to present that. Let me do stop share. This kind of alignment will never happen again in this sign in our lifetimes or several generations after our lifetimes.
It's epic.
It's epic. It is unique. I've been saying to people, I don't want to scare people too much, but this is bigger than COVID. This is more consequential, in terms of the whole world, even than COVID. This is very, very rare. And the reason why it's so rare is because how long it takes all the planets to be there. So with the nodes of the moon, it takes 18.5 years for them to return. Saturn, it takes 29.5 years to return. Chiron takes 50 years to return. Neptune takes 165 years to return. So imagine what kind of alignment. When I was looking at the COVID situation, I think that was around about 5 planets in one sign. This is 8 if you include Chiron. So this is world transforming times. we're having the reality check. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn my phone to the side and I'm going to play for you this clip. I'm going to turn it up as much as possible, just for a few seconds. And it's a farmer, yeah, a farmer who voted for Trump, yeah. There is swearing, but it's bleeped, just so you can hear. All right.
Officially losing every thing. This farm is getting sold. I have gone broke. Months ago, I screamed my warning to farmers and ranchers, and they didn't listen. And honestly, I didn't listen either. I didn't listen enough. And now I am paying the price. I am paying the consequences, and they are coming after every farmer and rancher next. It's not just me. They showed up a couple months ago. This started, and it only took 2 months for me to lose everything.
You don't regret your vote. You don't. You just don't like the.
Right. Now you see what I'm talking about. Saturn is the planet of reality. Pisces is the planet that can be the sign of illusions and delusions. And I said, when Saturn moves into sidereal Pisces, a great illusion will come to an end. It's happening. That is a MAGA voter who is realizing he has lost everything by voting for Trump.
And that's leading into April 2nd, Liberation Day.
Mhm.
That's going to be the ultimate reality check. You know, and he might be able to say, look, we made this pot of money here and this pot of money there, but on the ground.
You know, the Simpsons also predict that he's going to be gone on April 17th. I mean, there's that too.
Oh, did they? I mean, the Simpsons. I mean, they've got time machines, isn't it? Those guys, they've got time machines.
They have employed somebody who is one of us, and I think they're top notch. I wish I knew who it was because, yeah.
Yeah.
But I really want to see them naming Trump with this.
Yeah.
And that's why it's great that Musk will be going, because it's Trump's DOGE then.
Yes.
Because there's all these Farfo videos, and 1 in 100 mentions Trump's name.
Yeah. 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 So what are your thoughts on that, ladies, in terms of like what I was talking about, Saturn coming in today, the planet of reality check? Just in your own words, what have you been observing? So Lady G, what have you been seeing online? What have you been hearing about, you know, people kind of getting real?
Well, yeah, some people are waking up, and this is their last chance to wake up. Like I told my students a number of years ago, there's the big division that's coming, that those that are into the ego framework and power and all of that are going to go further. But this is another shockwave for those to wake up and then take the world, you know, the road of compassion and light and wanting the best for people, and to come out of that power structure of, you know, repressing others to get ahead. So that's what I see now. I see the big shakeup happening. This is their chance to make their choice on what direction they're going.
Wow. Wow. Sheila, what have you been seeing in terms of things like reality check? What conversations you've been overhearing or seeing on the internet?
Well, you know, I too, I'm in agreement of the division that's happening right now. We're as the humans are evolving, we evolve just like everybody else evolves. And the thing about it is, I'm feeling more different than I've ever felt in my life. I'm this empath who is trying to navigate all of this energy here, and I keep on like bumping into like, what are you? Where did come from, right? And I am sitting back with astonishment of the silliness and also the craziness, but calm within the storm. I don't know how to explain that. I don't know why my insides are as level as they could be, because that's not me. I mean, goodness gracious, I'm a Gemini. I am about theatrics sometimes, right? There's none of that is happening with me. So somehow, some way, something is splitting off. My brother is one of those who is a Trumper. He's radicalized.
Wow.
We've had too many conversations, right? And I'm not seeing him shift, but I'm seeing him like shift away from me. I don't know how to explain that.
Right.
And I get there and go,
It's taking the opposite path. Yeah.
Totally. So I get like a front row seat to this division, and I feel like I'm okay with it. I don't know how to explain it other than
I call it 0 point balance. Before, you're hanging onto the edge of the wheel like this, but now you've dropped into the center and you're being able to see what's going on, witness state, and that pulling back. Yeah, Vairagya, it's called Vairagya, dispassion. You're not, getting, drawn out into the emotionality of it as much. So you're going into the axle and watching what's taking place.
Wow.
Thank you. That makes so much more sense than my own, like, what is going on?
But Sheila, you've got to take credit too. You've done years and years of work, as most people have who are in this chat and stuff. It doesn't just magically happen, even though, people are gnawing their fingernails. This work is paying off now.
Yes.
To give you that calm center as everything else just spins away. Yeah.
That is so
Indeed. And that's one thing what I want to say as well. Saturn is the planet of karma, but not all karma is bad. Saturn, they say, gives the just results.
And the great teacher.
And the great teacher. That's why I call him the teacher of teachers, really. Saturn really is the guru of gurus. He really is. Because Saturn teaches us by experience. Now, as we could see with that rather tragic and hysterical clip, from the farmer, he is having the Saturnian realization, because he was buying into an illusion and a delusion. He wasn't listening. What he went on to say afterwards, he says, nobody cares. Nobody cares. Everyone said you kicked open this door, dude. This is what you voted for. He's like, no one's going to save me. And it's like, that can be also, that's karma too. But if we think, say, like a more positive karma, like Saturn is the planet of detachment. Saturn is the planet of calm. Really, that's part of the highest vibration of Saturn is also acceptance. And what we're seeing is with this division, and that's why I'm calling it like the beatification or the division of the waters, is that those who have been doing their spiritual work, those who have compassion, those who have been trying, doing the right thing for humanity, strangely enough, you will, on a certain level, be feeling a certain level of calm. And as those who are reaping these things, which they are really realizing now that they've sown, they're going to be the ones that are completely losing it, because they've not wanted to see, they've avoided the reality, they've gobbled up the fantasy. I mean, one of the ones that really gets me, I don't want to be too bad, but the ones who really, really, I was just like, Cubans for Trump. I mean, for me, I was like,
Cubans, they've been the poster child for so long for the Republicans.
And what did Trump do recently? He signed an executive order. Now 500,000 Cubans have had their protected status or whatever revoked. How about that for a reality check? It's just like, wow,
And I think in this split that's happening with those who have consciousness and compassion and those who don't and won't, then there are a lot in the middle who are fluxing and flexing to go. And that's why the tours by Tim Walsh and AOC and now Beto O'Rourke are so important, because they take the scales from the eyes. It's called the No Oligarchy Tour. And they're just telling people who would not have listened before exactly how it is. And I think the other fascinating thing that's happening is the boycotts are biting. Now,
Yes.
we've had our no-buy Mondays, but there's been really big boycotts on Amazon and Walmart. And Walmart just announced they've lost $22 billion in the last month. 22 billion.
Right. So you see, that's a karmic result. Saturn,
Exactly.
reality check.
They got rid of DEI because they were asked to by the regime, and everyone said, well, maybe not. And the other thing that's happening alongside those boycotts is that people are realizing, and you can see this in people's stories too, I was impulse buying. I had no idea how much unnecessary crap I was buying. I'd go in for this and come out with 18 things. Or I'd get intoxicated, not by alcohol necessarily, online and go, oh yeah, you're not bad. So people are rethinking their consumption.
Yeah.
And I think that's fabulous.
Yeah. Because this is happening all over the world, all over the world. Lady G, you were just going to say something?
I did a real quick read, if I could put this out.
Please, yes.
So what we have across the world is the storylines are being confronted. And I like the big stories, got the guy in the beak here. So those storylines are being confronted. And we have the health coming in, the health, but this is the magician, but the good magician that's going towards health, transformation. And we have the fox investigating and pulling that mask off to get to the reality of what's there.
Yes.
And it's cutting through this division that's being juggled now. And we have the cross, what we've been bearing, but new information is coming out. And the one thing I tell my students to live with honesty, integrity, transparency, sacredness, and simplicity, and you can't go wrong.
Very
wise guidelines.
And just before we carry on with the rest of the show, because we got a couple more questions which I think we can squeeze in. I just pulled a card as well, and I got the Lovers talking about the collective. Now the Lovers is about making choices, who you decide to partner up with, who you're going to be married to. How much longer can MAGA stay wedded to this? Really, how much longer? As you guys know, I also associate this card with what? Imports and exports, economy. Changes in the economy will also be another reality check. People losing their jobs. There's tremendous things going on with the student debt, which they've recalculated. Some people have been seeing their monthly student repayment loans go from $500 to $900. One guy saw it go from $500 to almost $5,000. But this is showing transformations in the economy. Obviously, Trump has made it topsy-turvy. That is also going to be another reality check for people. But this is about consequential choices. This really is, people really do need to pick their side now. If they are still picking Duck L'Orange after all of this, then they're beyond redemption. Really, they're beyond redemption. So
we have been telling them for years. And if they went tone deaf to what we were saying, there's nothing we can do about it anymore. That's the thing I keep on telling myself too. It's like, Sheila, there's nothing. You have been telling them. You have been doing your job. And at some point in time, I have to move on. It's just like a bad toxic relationship. I am sorry that you're stuck there. But for me, we have to move over here. And if you can't go, then all I can do is let you know that I tried.
Let go with love.
Yeah.
Let go with love. I'm going to say a few quick more thank yous, and then we'll squeeze in. Sorry, Lena, did you want to say something?
No.
All right, let's say a quick few more thank yous. My goodness. So Peggy Lee in Stitches, thank you to oh my God, look at this. This is ridiculous.
Oh man.
The crown of thank you, Mila Nord. Wow, thank you so much. And then who's this here? Oh, and then Summer Girl Land.
Summerland Girl, thank you.
Please say the date of the lineup of 8 again. It is tonight, today.
Yeah.
This is it. Saturn
This is
moves
it.
into sidereal Pisces to make, this is the Great Awakening. This is it. Yeah. this is the biggest astrological show in town. And Joanne Marie, thank you so much for your donation. So let's do
Not to mention we're at 4,600.
oh yes, sorry, yeah, 4,692. This is astonishing, guys.
I love it.
Big love. Thank you so much. And of course, please don't forget as well to like and subscribe to support the channel. Subscription, like this show, is free. And this will help the video reach more people and help the channel grow. And of course, you'll be seeing us on Wednesdays, you know, after this. So please stay with us, folks. Please stay with us. Right. Are we ready for another question? Let's dive in. We've got 10 minutes. Let's really just, let's see.
Because this is a special 90-minute.
Exactly, 90-minute special, and I want to get a third Shakespeare in there. So so Angelica Alchemy says, congratulations on your 5-year anniversary. Thank you so much. Can you please pull one card on the following question? They say, everyone is assuming that Signalgate was an accident, because who could be that dumb to use an unsecure app to discuss military secrets? I think that's how it's trying to be spun. Yeah, I think that it was done on purpose, because the whole point of the administration is to destabilize the US. Look how it is coming out that members of his cabinets and personal info is easily found on the internet, and Hegseth has been found to have a Russian email address. Oh my God!
No, more than one. More than one. Several. And Steve Witkoff, who was on that chain, was in Russia while it was happening. Everyone knows if you're a Westerner in Russia, you're under surveillance. Gosh. But my personal favorite was Tulsi Gabbard when she was asked where she was. And she said, oh, somewhere in Asia. And they said, well, where were you when this happened? I don't remember. You don't remember where you were when all this happened. She said, I'd have to look at the schedule.
Oh,
please.
Disgraceful. Disgraceful. But you see how
national intelligence or international intelligence or something, nothing to do with intelligence.
Right. But you see, this is what the eclipses do.
Yes, is revealing.
They reveal things that we may have suspected and we weren't quite sure become concrete and clear. Lunar eclipses deal with the people. Oh yeah, but solar eclipses deal with what? Leadership. Look at all of this scandal coming out about leadership. So Lena's gone to the door. So the question is this administration destroying everything because they are compromised by Russia? I mean, I think it's pretty clear, but let's read on it. So Lena, the question was, even though it's quite an obvious question in a way, but worth asking, is this administration destroying everything because they are compromised by Russia? And then we will do a read Shakespeare on Grindr Mike Johnson, allegedly.
Well, what do they call? Oh, Moses Mike Johnson is what they call him on iPad.
Yeah, so, yeah.
Is it a deliberate?
Or maybe they should call him Delilah Mike Johnson. I don't know.
Delilah Mike Johnson.
You know, and it's okay to be short. And I have nothing against short people, but he's always like this to everybody.
So this question is like, okay, with this administration, we know about the Russian emails now. We know that Tulsi Gabbard, well, at least one of them was in Russia. But the question is this administration destroying everything because they are compromised by Russia? 1, 2, 3. Oh my God. Well, Lena, I guess we don't have to be a professional to interpret, but how do you
know? There you have it. I'll just leave that there for you to absorb visually, everyone. The Tower.
Wow.
What have you got?
Sheila, how do you interpret your card?
Well, of course, I did my haunted house deck. So we have, you know, the little scary little doll. But it's a meaning of the pentacles, right? Where are they compromised? Yes, they're getting most of their money from Russia. right? In the secret little basket
Yeah.
that they are. You
Yeah.
know what I mean?
Stuffed in teddy bears.
And look what you've
Wow.
got. Hoga.
Exactly.
Lady
Lady
G.
G, how do you interpret your card?
Yeah, you're going to love this one. The victory. The victory.
Yeah.
Totally infiltrated. Absolutely. A victory for Putin. He's out celebrating.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And they
Yeah.
were cheap. They were cheap to buy.
Yeah, cheap. Yeah, cheap. And then, of course, here I've got the Hermit here, which is the card of, it's the card of, you know, research, investigation. But this, in a way, it's like, this is the isolation that they're feeling, because it can talk about isolation. But in many ways, when you put it all together, it's almost like all of Putin's plans. Yeah, all of Putin's plans, all the research, all the infiltration, and it's culminated in the Tower, you know, the bribery, victory card for Putinshka. And now, you know, if there's any sense, there'll be the soul searching. I think their lying, even their lying, was pathetic.
Yes.
I
very
can't remember.
poor lying. Yeah. But the upside of all of it, I think, in this sense, is if it was 5 years ago or something, Putin could really use this and do other things and stuff. But he's so stretched now, you know, with his own people and with the endless war, etc. But cheap.
Yeah, cheap.
And did you guys hear about Zelensky saying that Putin's about to die?
Oh, that's right. I'd forgotten that.
You're joking. But did that come out today as well?
It's true. Zelensky said that he's about to die. That Putin's about to die.
Yes, he was being interviewed in Ukrainian, and then the subtitles came up and he said, well, this will all end when Putin dies. He is going to die soon.
Yeah.
Now, I bet you anything, Zelensky has a babushka who's keeping an eye on everything.
And he's being cut. He's going down.
Ooh, I have read on his going and all that for a while now. You know how we are about time frames, but I've felt him going.
Yeah, I'm surprised he's been here for the last 3 years, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
You know, eclipses, you know, it talks about this stuff. Because the lunar eclipse is the people, solar eclipse is leadership, leaders. So if we think of the revelations that have already come on this show, we've got Grindr Mike Johnson, we've got, you know, Mike Waltz with his revelations, Signal Gate, Elon basically having to kind of effectively step aside. With this kind of alignment, it can be a time of like kings, queens, emperors, empresses kind of like go. And, you know, you never know. It would actually fit with the astrology as well. I mean, we don't want to obviously create false hope or anything like that, but it wouldn't shock me entirely either. That's the kind of energy that we're in. Wow, my gosh. Okay, let's have Shakespeare on Grindr Mike Johnson, allegedly. Wink, wink. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge. And Lena, it's you. You get the honor this time.
Perfect.
So let's get the page. Let's get this right. So the bard on Grindr Mike Johnson.
Ready. Stop.
Oh,
mysterious.
This is so interesting, right? So this one here, this one we've not had before. So this is coming from Henry VI, part 2. It says, how ill, so yeah, I think that's that. Yeah, I think that's an H. How ill white hairs become a fool and jester, so surfeit, so swelled, so old and so profane.
Oh, how weird is that?
How interesting. That's a bit, it was a bit kind of cryptic,
it's
isn't it?
It's a bit cryptic, isn't it?
Yeah.
But I think on one level he is aging in front of our eyes because you couldn't, you know.
I'm sure he's got very, very good hair dye. Yeah, because apparently the guy was saying you've got such a good full head of hair.
It's all about hair, wasn't it?
Allegedly. How
Wasn't
interesting.
Henry
And then on the
VIII
other page,
being gay wasn't Henry VIII accused of being gay himself?
Not Henry VIII, but there were many others.
It wasn't
Many
Henry
other
VIII. I got my history wrong. It was
Yeah.
it was the guy who who wrote the King James. That's who it was. King James.
Yes.
Oh,
King
yeah.
James. His son got beheaded. Charles the First.
Yeah.
Right. Well, you
And
know
then
what?
there's-
I was going to say, well, there's been many kings that were actually queens. You know, it's just a part of
It's just how it is.
Just
It's
how it
just
is.
how it is.
Just how it is.
And Alexander the Great, you
Of
know, who
course.
traveled with his companion at all times, and
It's
so
Mhm.
on. You know.
It's almost like they were made from the get-go, just like we were. Therefore, they were a part of the human race from the beginning. Imagine
Right.
that.
Indeed.
Yeah.
And actually, you've just reminded me something. I've been listening on ebook. This book has now apparently become a global bestseller, and it's called Suetonius, The Life of the Emperors, Roman Emperors. Yeah.
Mhm.
And one of the first stories is about Julius Caesar, which is fascinating. He really was a remarkable person. But one of the things now, his soldiers never mutinied, and he won every single war he entered once he crossed the Rubicon. The only two he lost were his other generals. But his soldiers used to tease him. As much as they loved him, they also teased him. And guess what they said about Julius Caesar? Because of his sexploits and stuff. They said, to every woman, he was a man. But with every man, he was a woman.
There you go. There you go.
So, you know, there you are. So, you know, these
Absolutely. History speaks.
History speaks. So let's squeeze in. Oh, look at that. Let's squeeze in one more.
Yes.
And do we want to do a read on Paula White Kane?
No, she's too obscure. We need
Yeah,
something
too
up
obscure.
to finish.
Too obscure. So C. Kane has asked, will Pam Bondi be forced to open investigation into Signalgate, or will she stand by on the sidelines, letting criminals in the scandal walk away without accountability? I think that has to come from Dr. Ranch, but let's do a one-card pull and finish the show with that to see, will these people be charged, or will they just be allowed to walk into the sun?
Yes.
One card pull. All right. And we got 4,710. So we've absolutely smashed our previous record. Thank you so much, everyone. All right. Thank you so much for your kind donations as well. All right. One card pull. Are we ready? Pam Bondi, will they face some kind of accountability? Will she do anything, or will they walk away? 1, 2, 3.
Oh my God, it is Pam Bondi. Look at this
Oh my
card.
God. Did that really look? That is Pam Bondi. Oh my God.
I love this deck. There she is. She's got a very good doctor. Right. She's 59 apparently and looks 11.
Really?
Yeah, so she's got good surgery. But if you look at the rest of this image as a whole, she will let them go. She was not going to charge them with anything, but the process exhausts her. Wow. The criticism of her for not doing it is exhausting. Look at this.
That really looks like Pam Bondi. How spooky. My God. Sheila, how do you interpret your card?
This one here, whenever I pull this one, this is the pregnant woman. This is the one that holds a lot. This is the one that has the light. She is in control, and there's that. She just knows that she can pull it any way she wants. She is in power, and we all know with Lena's card and of course Lady G's card, there's no way. There's just no way. She knows she's the one in power.
Interesting. Lady G, how do you interpret your card?
Well, she's in the love nest in the White House. So, yeah, this is the card for the White House. So, yeah, no, it's not going to happen. She's, you know, enamored and kissing the ring, and yeah, no, it's not going to take place.
Yeah. And here I've got this card here, which is I've got the Chariot. So it's about moving forward with pace. So it could be, yeah, it could be that they are literally, they may try and just move the story along. That's what I suspect. They're going to try.
But you know, they're so incompetent, seriously incompetent in these huge positions. There's going to be more scandals.
Of
because
course.
they're just not up to it.
Yeah, I mean, this could be the next scandal on its way.
Yeah.
Literally.
Yeah.
Or they generate something. Go on, Sheila.
As I said, we're not letting them go. The pressure is on. They think that they've already tried to move it along, and they've already like, it's no big deal, it's no nothing, it's all right, it's okay. He said sorry. He said sorry, right? Yeah. And we're like, no. And that thing is we won't let the pressure up. We won't.
Indeed. I just want to say a quick few more thank yous. So thank you, Carol.
Carol.
Thank you, Rosalind. Thank you, Deb. Yeah,
you guys are so generous.
Our world in the last months. Thank you for all your support and insight. Hands to guide my finding the next steps. Many blessings to you all. Thank you. Thank you so much, Catherine. Oh, there was an earthquake in Bangkok. Yes. Oh my gosh, there was the earthquake. I forgot about that as well.
And Myanmar.
Wow. And so Myanmar and Bangkok now. Oh my goodness, the eclipses, folks. And Uranus is also a planet of earthquakes. And remember, he's on the star Algol, the star of treachery, betrayal, and destruction, and even beheadings. Where am I? Thank you. And then Summerland Girl, thank you so much. Yes. Thank you, Montague. Thank you, Big Dog. Thank you again, and to Arcadian, and thank you so much.
Lo and behold, that's a great name.
Indeed. We'll finish it there. Thank you, everyone, folks. My gosh, what an hour and a half that was. We hit
epic. And we'll be back in a few days.
We'll be back in a few days. You're going to see us on Wednesday. It will be a normal show though, because we're exhausted after this.
1 hour, yeah, it'll be a 1 hour show. Is it 7 p.m. EST?
It's going to be 7 p.m. EST. So clocks go forward for me in the UK in an hour and a half. They go forward, and then so it should be. It might be 9 a.m. your time.
Not yet, the week after.
It's week after, I think, something like that. I know. So next week.
Is that going to change for us?
No, you're okay.
It's not going to be the same time in the States.
Okay.
You just go on 7 p.m. EST, whatever that is for you.
Mine is 5 p.m. Mountain Time.
There you go.
Yeah.
But ours are both changing 1 week.
Lady G, what did you say?
Ours has already gone forward.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, is that we're catching up because America goes first, and then UK, then Australia, because they're going into autumn and we're going into spring. So we're
going back, we're getting closer to you guys.
Exactly.
I can feel it.
Oh, indeed. So thank you so much, everyone, for joining us on this special. Thank you for all the support, for the donations, everything. Much appreciated. We will be seeing you on Wednesday, the 2nd of April. So we hope that you'll stick with us. Thank you for all the encouragement. I'm glad we've been able to bring a little bit of levity in these kind of crazy times. Thank you so much for us smashing our record, 4,700, and your generosity is astonishing. But we will leave it there, and we will see you next week. Mwah! Big love. All right, bye everyone.